Margaretville budget tops the tax cap. General surgery begins at Margaretville Hospital. The Stamford Board deadlocks on burned Main Street buildings. These are the headlines this week. Welcome to CatskillsAir. I'm Jessica Murphy, here with your latest local news. Joining me, of course, is Matt Avitable, editor and publisher of the Mountain Eagle and Catskills Chronicle. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. How was your week? Are you cold? Are you hot? We can't tell with this weather.
A little bit of both this week.
All right, well, let's get to the news. Margaretville Board worked out a budget, but it exceeds the tax cap. How bad does it look for taxpayers, Matt?
The budget's going to be about $665,000. It's about a $16,000 increase. It does exceed the 2.28% tax cap. Tax increase is going to be potentially between about 3.73 to 4%. So more than expected, but ultimately not catastrophic.
Okay, and food trucks were also back on the board agenda. Where's that stand?
The mayor, John Hubble, suggested organizing regulations similar to the town of Middletown's. The town issues a seasonal restaurant permit that's obtained by the property owner on whose property a food truck will operate. There was further discussion from Trustee Dave Budin and Sarah Hubble about the regulations and whether that would ultimately assist the village. And the regulations are expected to be enacted as zoning rather than as a local law.
The issue of who pays for the Fleischman's Heights bridge repairs may be solved. Where is the $135,000 coming from, Matt?
$135,000 to help with that Fleischman's Heights bridge along Route 28. The funds are going to be about 75% of the project costs. Mayor Sam Gill said that the village has to come up with the other 25%. New York City Department of Environmental Protection is going to cover the match, and there's going to be in-kind contributions from Delaware County and the town of Middletown.
Now, this is some big news on the local medical scene. Very cool. Margaretville Hospital will begin performing surgeries. Matt, when and what operations will they handle?
This was good news coming from the hospital. Michael Hockman told me that Dr. James Feeney, a trauma surgeon, would be one of the providers. There's going to be general surgery, including Dr. Galina Glinick, who is board certified in surgery and surgical critical care. This isn't going to cover everything, but it does help with in-hospital clinical procedures. Executive Director Hockman gave us quite a bit of detail in the cover of this week's paper.
We talked about how amazing the Stanford Jefferson girls basketball team played this year. The lead story is on their fall after a brilliant season. Matt, the girls put up such a good fight, right?
Oh my gosh. They went so far. They wound up with such team spirit. We have multiple photos. We wound up seeing some real standout efforts. McKenna Hoyt had 8 points and 12 boards. Emily Eklund had 15. Tierney Turner had 26. I know John's going to go a lot more into this, but it was a packed house at Hudson Valley Community College as ultimately they battled, but ultimately fell to Batavia Notre Dame last Thursday.
The Stamford Board is in quite a quandary about the two fire-ravaged buildings on Main Street. So what's the problem, Matt?
The Stamford Zoning Board of Appeals has denied permit appeals for 60 and 64 Main Street, citing untimely filing and failure to restore fire-damaged structure issues, which leaves the door open for potential demolition. This comes after a number of demolitions in the village of Stamford. We have the old Hager Building, 60 Main Street, and 64, which was part of this major commercial part of Stamford. After the December fires, the village has been devastated in many ways. Its Main Street has been altered. There's a lot of detail by our editor emeritus, Carolyn Bennett, including back and forth between the village, ZBA, and more about some of the feelings regarding the future of the buildings. Too much to mention right in this broadcast, but if you want to know the skinny, it's on the cover of the paper.
Now, I know there's a lot of chatter about town over this next one in Pine Hill. A new Bel Air Plaza is on the rise. I have been so curious about this as well. Matt, you wrote the article. Tell us about the new station and when is it going up?
The hope is this summer. Talk to Supervisor Babs Mansfield about potentially opening up this gas station over the summer. Beautiful picture on the cover of the paper of the Catskills Chronicle section about this. As everyone knows, the former Mobile there gave an opportunity for Pine Hill residents and visitors to visit. Now this new station owned by Aerostar Petroleum is working out pretty well. Fingers crossed this summer we'll be delivering papers there.
Delhi Village trustee Janet Tweed has some serious backing for her state assembly run. The candidate has raised a lot of money. So Matt, who's backing her and what are her chances?
Tweed announced $78,000 from private donations and anticipated matching funds from New York's Public Campaign Finance Board. She said she was grateful and humble for the support across the district. Since she announced her campaign, she raised about $8,500 from private donors, and with a projected state match, she expects that total $78,000.
Meanwhile, Delaware County Democrats have endorsed their picks. Who has the committee's support?
We're going to be talking about this further as the party selects its candidates, but the Democratic committee has chosen several endorsements, including incumbent Congressman Josh Riley for the 19th Congressional District. DC Chair Kathleen Hayek said that he was, quote, exactly the kind of representative Delaware County needs. They also endorsed Janet Tweed, who we just mentioned, and Vicki Davis for Assembly in the 121st District, and Michelle Frazier for New York State Senate in the 51st District.
April 6th kicks off Public Health Week, and the Delco board threw their support behind it at their latest meeting. They also noted that county employees can now get a retirement plan. What's the word there, Matt?
Absolutely. A Roth IRA is now open, which permits tax-free growth and withdrawals for retirement. Wayne Marshfield, supervisor of Hamden, said that it was a good advantage for employees. County also recognized that National Public Health Week that you mentioned earlier. It's going to be from April 6th to April 12th, and the theme this year is going to be Ready, Set, Action.
There's a lot of school news in the paper this week. Delaware Academy nearly has a budget and also a second pre-K classroom. Is that right?
About $25.5 million represents about an 11% increase over the 2025-2026 budget. Amid delays in the state budget process, DA Superintendent Kerry Schultz presented a budget projecting a 1% increase in foundation aid. The district's about $300,000 in the red due to rising expenses and state aid projection, and the numbers are presented with a 2.9% tax increase. There's also a potential increase for the pre-K enrollment funding from $5,900 to $10,000. The hope is to have this new classroom up and running. The superintendent said that if the district can manage a second classroom to accommodate additional children, it will.
Margaretville Central School got 2 honors from the New York State family, Career and Community Leaders of America. First, the school itself and its staff were recognized. Then a student was elected, the group's upcoming state president. Matt, what is FCCLA and why is this a big deal, and who is this outstanding student?
FCCLA is a nationwide organization that assists students. They actually had a state leadership conference banquet on March 19th in Callicoon. We wound up seeing Margaretville being recognized. We have this really nice picture about the Appreciation Award presented to Superintendent Michelle Alsterhout and MCS Board President Doris Warner. The district's done a lot, and it's good that they're being recognized for all of their efforts. Separately, Lillian Van Benschoten was elected the president of the entire state FCCLA. There's a great photo of her in there. They have done so much as a club, and Van Benschoten's leadership is really stellar to the point where she was selected to this statewide honor.
Well, big congrats to Lily Ann and the school advisors. Margaretville students were shining at the Delaware County Country Music Festival. All right, Matt, the paper has 2 separate stories on these outstanding musical students.
The school announced that they had multiple participants in this festival. We wound up seeing a long list. I'd name them all, but it's too long for the broadcast. But these photos show the great skill that they brought to all county. Speaking as a person who did it up in Schoharie County, I have a feeling they had a great time and showed off their skills.
And one last item about MCS. The school is reaching out to the community with a newsletter. What do they hope to achieve?
So if you're watching this broadcast or you read the paper, my hope is that you sign up. It's a pilot to hear more about what the district is doing. It's going to be available for parents, guardians, teachers, staff, and the hope is to expand its reach beyond the school building itself. And it's sent within 1 week of each board meeting and provides a brief overview of key presentations and topics discussed.
Now on the crime beat, a Harpersfield driver was convicted and sentenced for driving while drugged.
The district attorney, Sean Smith, announced that James Wise, age 35, of Stamford, pleaded guilty in the town of Harpersfield court to one count of driving a motor vehicle while ability impaired by drugs, which is an unclassified misdemeanor, and was sentenced to a 1-year conditional discharge. He has to attend an impaired driver program and a victim impact panel, and will have to provide a DNA sample and complete a traffic diversion program within 60 days, and his license was revoked.
A Long Island man needed a tractor, so he stole one in Hamden. On Sunday, March 22nd, he took the machine without the owner's consent. Sheriff deputies arrested and charged 30-year-old Nicholas Call with 1 count of grand larceny in the 4th degree. He was taken to Delaware County Jail to await arraignment. The DEC has been tracking bear hunting since 1955. This past season, they say, was the highest harvest in the southern zone ever. Matt, what are the numbers and what does that mean to both the bear and human population around here?
1,759 black bears were estimated to be taken by hunters in the 2025 hunting season. That's the second highest statewide bear harvest on record. The highest recorded one was back in 2003. This represents an approximately 4% increase from the 2024 season and is about 18% above the 10-year average. The harvest in the southern zone is a new record at 1,202. It appears that hunters have taken on the state's call.
On a different sports note, a Delhi woman became the first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in the county. Matt, tell us about Heather Knapp.
March 15th was an important day. Heather Knapp was promoted to a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, first one in the county. It took place during Women's History Month, and ultimately this is part of a martial art often cited as one of the most demanding disciplines, typically requiring a decade or more of consistent training to get that black belt. Congratulations to Knapp.
We've recently reported on the local library's special programs, and here's the good news. Matt, detail their achievements.
Fort County Library System was pleased to announce that several local libraries had success with its programs funded through its system. This included an outreach mini grant opportunity, a bunch of local ones, even some outside of our local coverage area, but more locally, we saw really good presentations at the Roxbury Library, which coordinated a free summer event, a summer in the park. We also saw the Stamford Library offering a free 8-week all-ages guitar workshop season, culminating in a recital for the community.
Reporter Liz Page has a great story about a music teacher and 2 of her students making it all the way to Carnegie Hall.
Really good time-lapse photo as Pamela Sue West Finkel posed with Connor Dorosky and Mitchell Dorosky here, as we see all 3 wound up playing at Carnegie Hall. They're members of the Hartwick College Wind Ensemble, and ultimately West Finkel said it was an awesome experience, and it was so emotional that she left the stage in tears, but these were tears of joy and accomplishment.
Matt, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
We're going to have to find out.
No, practice, practice, practice.
Oh.
All right, well, that's an old joke, I guess. Anyway, reporter Mary Crisafulli was behind the camera for the Delhi St. Patrick's Day Parade. The Mountain Eagle has almost a full page of photos. Tell us more.
It was a little bit Irish and then a little bit more than Irish in Delhi. A great time, lots of friendly faces, lots of kids and adults out. Really good event and really good coverage by Mary.
And the Phoenicia Playhouse kicks off its 50th season with Songs of the Theater.
This one's awesome. They have a cabaret show called Songs Mostly of the Theater, a stroll down a dusty musical road. It's going to be presented May 1st to 3rd at the Phoenicia Playhouse. The cabaret will be performed by Wallace Norman with musical direction by Paul Duffy and stage direction by Hank Niemark. There's going to be a lot more in there, a lot of their background and what is planned. Phoenicia Playhouse is going to have a great season.
And Easter is just around the corner, so hop into spring in Stamford. Matt, I hear you can build Easter baskets.
I hope everyone can make it. It's going to be a great time at Sacred Heart Church Parish Hall. It's going to be a heartwarming Easter event, April 4th. That's a Saturday at 11 a.m. Come build an Easter basket, get into the spirit of the season, of the holiday, and of spring.
For more on these and other articles, pick up the Mountain Eagle or Catskills Chronicle. But Matt, before you go, can you give us a little tease of what's coming up next week?
Depending on the schedule, we plan to have some baseball or softball coverage. We're also going to have the first meetings of April starting next week. And we're looking forward to an update, trying to find out more about the buildings in Stamford and some potential resolutions.
All right, well, thanks for keeping us all up to date, and we will see you next week.
See you then.
Birds or burglars? New York State proposes a law requiring homeowners and businesses to shut off their outdoor lights overnight. It's dubbed the Dark Skies Protection Act. Property owners would have to shut off almost all outdoor lights, including those over your doors, between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. The idea is to help preserve the night sky and protect wildlife, and the bill is proposed by New York State Assembly member Deborah Glick of Manhattan and former State Senator Brad Hollyman-Sigel, who is now Manhattan Borough President. But the idea has caused an uproar. Supporters say dimmer light or none at all will reduce nightlight pollution, and they cite how light affects people and wildlife negatively, including disorienting birds and other nocturnal animals. But opposers say less lighting outdoors can mean increased risk of trips, falls, and even crime. What do you all think? Kill string lights at night or keep the home bulbs burning till dawn? Let us know. Give us a call or an email. And now it's time to talk sports. Here's John with game details on the Delhi girls' last hurrah.
Baseball's opening day has arrived with the Yankees shutting out the Giants in San Francisco 7-0 and the Mets outlasting the Pirates in a slugfest 11-7 at Citi Field. It doesn't always feel like it, but baseball must mean spring is here too. For a nanosecond, they were the only Delaware County high school basketball team still standing. And then there were none. The Delhi Academy girls basketball team would see their magical season come to a close in the New York State Class C semifinals when the Bulldogs were downed by Frewsburg 57-30. Delhi would finish an historic season, first ever Mid-State Athletic Conference Championship, first ever Section 4 Class C Championship, with a record of 22 wins against 3 losses. Danielle Ennist reached double figures, pacing the Bulldogs with 10 points. Lexi Davis netted 8. Lexi would also earn the NYSPHSAA Sportsmanship Award. What a team, what a season. Congratulations, girls, for your historic basketball success. Talk about insane basketball finishes. Few finishes can match the unlikely ending in the Cooperstown Hawkeyes boys Class C state semifinal victory over Lions of Section 5. With Cooperstown leading 63-60 and time running out, a Bulldog player penetrated into the lane, then kicked a pass back to teammate Stephen Lebrich. Positioned behind the three-point line, Lebrich let it fly. The shot swished through the net, and while closing out to defend the shot, Cooperstown's Ben Lewis fell into Lebrich. There were 8.8 seconds left when the Lions guard swished the foul shot, completing a 4-point play, rare indeed, and that gave Lions an improbable 64-63 lead. But Cooperstown had some game-ending dramatics of their own. Now with the ball and with 4.4 seconds on the clock, the Hawkeyes were inbounding the ball from their offensive side of the court. The play Cooperstown coach John Lambert was called Blind Cow. Miles Nealon was inbounding the ball, with the play designed for him, after completing the inbound pass, to step inbounds, receive a return pass, and take a shot. Jackson Chrisman, the guy assigned to receive the inbound pass, would ask Coach Lambert, "What if they're double teaming Miles?" "Just turn around and shoot," Lambert told Chrisman. It was karma. Lions double-teamed Nealon, so Jackson Crimson did what he was told. He turned around and launched an off-balanced prayer. The ball swished through the nets, and Cooperstown was on their way to the state championship. The miracle ending sent Cooperstown to the state championship game where the Hawkeyes completed a perfect 27-win, 0-loss season with a 52-43 victory over Burn Knox Westerlo. Cooperstown had last won a boys basketball state title in 2019. Winning a state championship is a feeling of pure joy. The boys work so hard, it is very rewarding for me as coach to know I helped them obtain their dream, Coach Lambert said. Quite an ending, quite a story. Congratulations to the Cooperstown guys. That's our local sports report for the week.
Let's see what Elizabeth has coming up in entertainment.
We're living in the Catskills. Nothing better in the world. Stanford Writers Circle. I wish I had been aware of this so I could have promoted it sooner. The group is called Method in the Mountains. The facilitator is Christine Hauser. And this has brought together writers, poets, people who are interested in writing, advanced writers, a place where you can go to express yourself and learn more about how to be a proficient writer, and nothing better than being with a group of many other people to learn this. So check out the Stanford Writers Circle in Stanford to find more about that. Music on the Delaware at the Walton Theater, at the Coffee House. That's the smaller stage, very intimate setting. There's some refreshments. It's a wonderful small area. So first come, first serve. They will be having a flute and cello duo April 19th. Emily Hutchinson, it will be the flautist, and the cellist is Svetlana Geretsylova. I hope I said her name correctly. They will be playing chamber music, a variety of musical styles and time periods. This will be a wonderful event. The cello is a wonderful expressive instrument, and the flute complements it perfectly. This will be a wonderful, lovely afternoon or evening to go and hear this music. So let's definitely get out there and help support Music on the Delaware's Coffee House at the Walton Theater. Folk and Celtic musicians will be performing at the Middleburg Library, and a shout out to the Middleburg Library. They are always encouraging, supporting, and finding these wonderful artisans, whether they're poets, artists, or music. Middleburg Library is there to help support them, so we need to help support Middleburg Library. Bruce Foley, Mary Coogan, and Cheryl Proshker. This is the first time they will be playing as a trio. So you want to get out there. Don't we love Celtic music? I do very much. It's part of my blood. And this is a wonderful time of the year to get out there and listen to the music that we heard as children, our ancestors listened to and played. A wonderful thing to be involved in. And have a wonderful creative day and week. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, Elizabeth. 4 hikers called for help from Blackhead Mountain, Greene County last week. All 4 were cold and wet and lost, and one was even feeling woozy. After an hour search, Hensonville Hose Company found the party with their dog and escorted them down the escarpment trail. They were given dry clothes, food, water, and headlamps. 5 hours after their first call at 10:30 p.m., the group reached Big Hollow Trail. The trekkers refused further help from Windham Ambulance. Always remember out there to watch the weather in the Catskills. It changes on a dime, as our weather reporter Lori says. So let's see what she's predicting for the upcoming week.
Heidi-ho, friends and neighbors, it's Lori with CatskillsAir, bringing you your weekly weather update for the beautiful, pristine, so highly wacky and unpredictable weather Catskill Mountain region. And man, Mother Nature knows the calendars, because this week it's going to be everything but the kitchen sink. April showers bring May flowers, and it will be feeling a little bit like April for the week ahead. However, we're still going to play teeter-totter with those temperatures as Jack Frost and Old Man Winter still fight for a little bit of sprinter in spring. But let's just give it a go and check out what's happening in that Catskill High Peaks for this week in weather.
On Monday, we have cloudy skies with a chance of a peak of sunshine. Very windy, but a lot warmer. A slight chance of an afternoon scattered shower. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s to mid 60s with winds gusting out of the west-southwest at 10 to 20. Overnight, we have cloudy skies with a chance of scattered showers after midnight. Temps are going to dip back to a balmy 50. Winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10. On Tuesday, we have scattered showers in the morning, then cloudy skies in the afternoon. Breezy with temps on the warmer side in the mid-60s. Winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. Overnight, we have cloudy skies with isolated scattered showers after midnight and some before midnight. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. On Wednesday, rabbit, we have light rain in the morning with cloudy skies in the afternoon with a chance of stray scattered showers. Temperatures are going to be in the mid to low 60s. Winds out of the west at 10 to 15. Overnight, we have cloudy skies with a chance of a shower or two. Could be some scattered precip in the higher elevations. It's going to be much cooler, mid to upper 30s. Winds out of the north-northeast at 5 to 10. On Thursday, we have cloudy skies with periods of rain, much cooler temperatures, low 40s. Winds out of the east-southeast at 5 to 10. Overnight, we have cloudy skies with light rain. Could be mixed in the higher elevations because temps are going to dip back to the mid-30s. Winds out of the south-southeast at 5 to 10. And on Friday, we have cloudy skies with occasional showers, gusty winds. Temps are going to be on the rise a little bit to the low 50s. Winds gusting out of the south-southwest at 10 to 15. And overnight, we have cloudy skies with occasional showers. Temps are going to dip back to the low 40s. Winds out of the west at 5 to 10.
As I bid you farewell, remember that weather and temperature changes on a dime, especially in the Cats. Be sure to join me, Lori, for your weekly weather update from somewhere in the Cats.
That's it for CatskillsAir News. If you see something out there, let us know. I'm Jessica Murphy. Bye for now.